welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, Mary Trimble, here with your readings for March the 9th through the 22nd. This is for 2 weeks, guys. I'm not going to have the time to record all 12 videos. I will, however, probably do a live feed, 1 or 2, next week. So make sure that you have the notification bell press so that you'll get notifications when I go live. I answer questions live. I have my tarot cards. I do all kinds of good stuff like that. So, stay tuned for the astrology report right after this. And this is a general reading, guys. Don't forget, take what resonates, leave the rest, and check out your sun, moon, and rising. All the links to everything will be below. You can click on this link here for a personal private reading, and that'll take you to my website, and you can see the kind of readings I offer. So, okay, let's go to your cards, shall we, Cancer? There's a lot of crossover here, so please check out your sun, moon, and rising. Check out all the links below. If it takes a minute, there's also a link to the playlist for this month, and it'll be in there. All those other readings will be. So, the first card out for you is the Ace of Wands. This is a beautiful card. This indicates to me there's change afoot. You've got to, and I say that because there's a butterfly in this card. And this is a very fertile wand. It's like this is like the spark that starts a flame that lights a blazing fire, right? The potential for this is amazing. It's a new beginning, but I feel that this is an idea. This is an idea that has so much incredible potential. So I feel that this is a time to kind of get this going. You know, light that fire, darling. Start that blaze. Start that fire. Start doing something. Whatever this is, you're going to get a brilliant idea. If you don't already have one and been mulling around an idea, now is the time to take action. And I say that because clarifying the Ace of Wands is the Knight of Wands, right? So the Knight is this, you know, here I come to save the day. This is like rushing in. Now, I would just be cautious about making rash decisions or being impulsive. Because that kind of is the energy of this card. You can be a little impulsive. You can take action without thinking. So you have to think things through, but you kind of have to think on your feet. It's that kind of thing. This is an opportunity like this. This is an idea. This is an opportunity, but you've got to kind of, what I'm getting is the word plan. Because I feel that you might have the urge to take a risk, perhaps, you know, that you should really think through. I'm definitely getting the word plan here. So you have this idea, but you can't rush into it. You've got to set the groundwork. So you've got to put the kindling in place before you strike a match to this fire, right? You've got to start it. You've got to gather the kindling. You've got to get it together. And then you've got to, you know, you've got to get the spark in the kindling and nurture it and blow it up. And don't just kind of rush in with the thing and just try to set a fire. It won't work otherwise, right? If you don't have the kindling there, trying to light a fire, you know, without kindling, it's hard for it to catch. So I'm really getting that there's got to be some groundwork and some planning here, Cancer. Don't rush into this is what I'm getting. And look, clarifying, not clarifying, the next card out is the Eight of Pentacles. And look here, there's all these coins at the side, all ready to come down. The opportunity. Now, this is why you can't rush into this. You've got to really do all the research and learn everything you can before you launch this thing. And that's probably what you can do at the end of 2 weeks, because then stay tuned for the astrological report, because your timing is going to make sense because of what's going on astrologically over the next couple of weeks. So he's the Apprentice card. He is focused on learning everything, on his craft. You've got to give your craft and your profession the time, the energy, and the effort and the focus it deserves, because it's going to pay off. But you really kind of have to work at it, but really be in the moment and put all your energy into preparing, thinking of every scenario, allowing for every scenario, really crossing your T's and dotting your I's. And what's interesting is, so perhaps you're a little kind of feeling a little frustrated, and maybe you're not feeling, maybe you're a little impatient. And this is, you're like, I don't have time to learn that first. I just need to get this out there. Well, no, you have to do all the background work first. It's very important, Cancer, before you kind of launch anything. And what's interesting is what's clarifying the 8 of Pentacles is the 8 of Swords, 8. And I'm thinking, 8 is infinite possibilities, right? That's what I'm getting here. Now, the 8 of Swords is a feeling of entrapment, of feeling restricted in some way, of not being able to get to where you want to get, do what you want to do. You want to be at the finish line, or, it's like looking for a job and not wanting an entry position, wanting to be, the CEO of the company immediately. It's very me when I was younger. But there's a path that we have to take. It's about, look, first of all, you've got to see the situation for what it is. And sometimes that means seeing it in real terms, because we can fantasize. Listen, Cancer, you're probably really feeling it. You're very sensitive, and, the moon rules your sign, right? You are ruled by the moon. So this super full moon, and the sun opposite right next to Neptune is really going to do a number on you emotionally and sensitive. You've got to be careful with whom you mix with. You've got to have people around you that are inspiring, that are positive, that are going to bring you up. You've got to really you've got to see your situation, because with Neptune, we can be deluded, right? We can have illusions. We get these incredible, creative ideas, and we can see things far into the future, but we have to remember we've got to learn to walk before we can run. So this is about taking steps and, incremental steps. It's nice to think big, but you've got to be careful about what I'm getting is that, going over the mark kind of thing, like rushing where you need to kind of take your time, right? I feel that it's almost like you'll do a rush job. Rash is the word I'm getting, right, too. So you're going over yes, we've all got to think big, because then, we can think really big, and then we can see the possibilities. But we also, even though we're thinking big, that's great, we also have to take those smaller steps to get to where we're going. We've got to be in reality. So this is about taking the blindfold off and seeing where you're at right now, so that you can take the appropriate steps. You've got to do the research and learn everything you can and focus on it 100%, for it to go further. You can't just think it and it's going to happen. It takes time. So I feel that patience is coming in, but in order for patience to come in, you really have to look at what's going on. You've got to take the blindfold off. You'll understand that you're not stuck. There are small steps. And remember that Virgo rules tiny things too. So maybe you've got to take tiny steps forward. And each step is closer. No matter how tiny it is, it's closer to your goal. So don't lose faith and understand that you are not restricted. You're not tied. You can make tiny steps. So take the blindfold off first, right? Now, look, because when you're in here, right, the Eight of Swords stops you kind of from going forward because it kind of immobilizes you. You're looking at all your limitations and you're not looking at the possibilities as well. So, taking small steps, but seeing the possibilities. It's kind of really interesting. And look, the next card you've got is the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands is Jupiter, darling. It's about planning for a bigger, better future, right? This is long-term optimistic plans. So yes, like I say, you've got to, have those plans. And I'm not talking about a few months, I'm talking about years. So maybe you need to play the long game here, is what I'm getting. It's not a quick fix, like I'm going to make it rich next week, or I'm going to make it big like next month, or, in 6 months. This might be a long game that you're in. You have to be prepared for that. This is the long game. And you've got to plan for the long game, even though you kind of want it to be successful yesterday. And that's what's making you feel trapped and perhaps restricted. The long game, darling. This is like you will make it as long as you plan way into the future. And look, clarifying the Three of Wands is the Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords is the Ganesh of the tarot. This is saying that, look, the blocks are going to be lifted. Yes, look, sometimes when this comes up, it's like you want to give up. You don't see it. It's like, because you're in this, you kind of don't, you're thinking, oh, maybe I'm not meant to do this. But no, the Ace of Swords comes in with the truth. Because the Ace of Swords is cutting, it's the truth, it's coming in. It is a gift. And it's going to come in to cut away, it's going to remove the blocks. But it removes the blocks with elbow grease. Doesn't do it on its own. You can't just, and I always use this analogy, right? So you're in the jungle and you're in the thick of the jungle and you can't move because there's vegetation everywhere and there's thorns and you can't get through and you're stuck. How you feel? You feel stuck. You are in the thick of the jungle. That's how you feel right now. And then all of a sudden, the heavens open up. The angels are singing, ah! And down in a beam of light comes this beautiful, big, shiny machete. And you take that machete and you're like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's the answer to all your prayers. And then you take that machete and you wield it and you carve a path for yourself. And it's slow going and it's not easy. And you're sweating, but you know you're getting out of there now, right? And each wielding chop to a piece of vegetation is one step closer to your path of being free, getting out of there. It's going to create the path forward. So that's what this is. You have to create your path one little bit at a time. But make no mistake, this is a gift. And if you were literally in the jungle and a machete came down for you, it would be the answer to all your prayers. So it's really saying, take notice of those tiny steps and those every victorious little step, rejoice in it, because know that you're getting closer to your goal. Know you're getting closer to freedom and your path forward, and you're getting out of there. Know that. And that will give you the determination, the strength, the stamina to keep on. So I want to say, keep on keeping on. Don't give up. Cancer, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to stay tuned for the astrology report coming up next. And I love you all. And I'll see you on the other side, or in 2 weeks if you don't stay for the astrology report. But you'll miss out if you don't, Cancer. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy that you decided to stay on and listen to the astrological report and what's happening in the celestial sky for this week and the week after, as next week I won't have time to do these readings. So, we start off on Monday, the 9th of March, 2020. We have a super full moon in Virgo at 19 degrees, 1:47 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's if you're in New York. 3 hours behind on the West Coast and only 4 hours ahead in Europe this week. So they haven't changed their time yet. Now, a full moon, as most of you know, is when the sun and the moon are opposite each other. And it's actually the sun that illuminates the moon. When they're exactly opposite, the moon is completely full. And this is a super full moon, which means that the moon is very close to the Earth on its elliptical travels. And it is going to appear huge in the sky. It's going to be massive. It's a beautiful full moon, darling, and which means that it's very powerful. The magnetism from that and the effect on us and the planet is immense. It will definitely affect the tectonic plates on the planet, and it's going to affect us. Now, the moon is in Virgo and the sun is in the opposite sign of Pisces. Now, the moon is feminine. She's the mother. She's the divine feminine. She receives, right? She's receiving light from the sun. She's emotions. So it's all about feeling, right? But she is in Virgo. Now, before I go any further, she's at 19 degrees Virgo. Now, 19 degrees is very poignant, right? It really reduces down to number 1 in numerology. It's because 1 and 9 is 10, and 1 and 0 is 1. So the number 1 in numerology is about independence, individuality, determination, and authenticity, right? And the number 1 in the tarot is the magician. So this, the magician has one hand in the sky to the ethereal realm, to source, to, angels, to your guides, whatever you choose to call your deity or your belief system, and one hand on his table where there are 4 elements, and the 4 elements are all we need. So this is saying that you have everything you need to become or to do whatever you want to do. This is a very powerful new beginning, right? It's magical. Virgo is about analysis, and this full moon is in Virgo. It's about practical problem solving, right? She's an earth sign. Virgo is feminine. She's an earth sign. So she's pragmatic. Because she's feminine, she receives, right? Because feminine signs receive, masculine put out. She assesses situation, people, and things to work out how to make the best of whatever it is that she's assessing. She wants everything and everyone to be the best. She is quality control. So the best thing I can say, look, imagine that Virgo is a woman in September where the harvest is coming in and she's receiving the harvest, right? And she meticulously goes through that harvest. She takes out the best from the harvest and then she organizes it. How is, so much say it's wheat. Say it's wheat and corn, right? So she's going through these strands of wheat and corn and she is putting them in piles, some to make flour, some to make bread, some to make mead, alcohol. So she's putting all these piles and she's sorting it out so that she can best use it for the upcoming winter for everyone, right? So she is sorting through this information to make the best out of it. Now, Mercury, Virgo's ruling planet, is going to be going direct later on that day. Or the next day if you're in Europe and Asia. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. That's a side note for now. So the sun is in the opposite sign in Pisces, right? So this energy is very kind of intermingled. Now, on the positive side, Pisces is spiritual, it's meditation, it's introspective, it's connection with spirit, with the ethereal realm. It's dreamy and intuitive. It's sensitive to everybody's feelings, right? And this is especially so because it is right next to Neptune, and Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, and Neptune is dreamy, it's visionary, it is a connection with spirit. You can use it as that. You can, write fantasy, fiction, poetry, the visual arts, anything artistic and creative is a really good way to channel this energy. It's also, on the downside, it's a little fuzzy. It's not quite clear what's reality, what's fantasy, what's the truth, what's delusion or an illusion. Because, if you're using it creatively, you can bring to life visualization. Visualization is really good during this time too. So if you can direct it, it's brilliant. But you can also go off the other way. You can be easily influenced. You can be deluded by people. So you have to be, meditation, darling. This is about introspection. So it's very, very powerful. And on one hand, you've got this very practical, woman who's receiving information and sorting it. And on the other hand, you've got this dreamy, visionary, you can lose time with Neptune too. So it's very hard to focus sometimes. So you have to kind of remember this. Now, this full moon, right, is about introspection. It's about going within. It's definitely a time to be quiet and to be reflective and to go inside and pull out the best qualities, because Virgo wants the best, right? So, and also the negative side of Virgo is criticism. So you've got to be careful, and also that's the best side, critical thinking, but criticism is the negative side, right? So you have to make sure that when you have to really pay attention to your internal dialogue. So if you're saying, oh, you're useless, you can't do that, this is no good, that's not a good thing. But if you can change that, you can change the energy of that by saying, oh, how can I do that better? What if I did this instead of that? And it's really about changing the internal language. You're talking about the same thing, but you are coming out of the problem and looking for a solution. You're opening up your mind to wonderful possibilities. And this is a wonderful time to do this. So reach within. be introspective, be quiet, go within and pull out your best qualities, your star qualities. What is the best that you can be? What can you pull out and become? Where do you need improvement? You can say, instead of, oh my God, I'm useless, I can't do that. It's like, where can I improve upon this? Because the possibilities are endless, right? Now, another reason that this is a powerful full moon is that it is in harmony. It's got this beautiful harmonious relationship at the same time with Mars, the planet of action, right? Get up and go and start something new. And Jupiter, the planet of abundance and good fortune. And Pluto, the planet of transformation. So this is a transformative time for the better. So it can start off a little fuzzy, a little confusing perhaps, because Neptune is involved, but it's ultimately going to turn out well, particularly if you go inside. And this is, look, Jupiter, Mars, and Pluto are all in Capricorn, and Capricorn is ambitious, it's industry, right? It is, hard work, it's goal orientated. Look, this is a very industrious full moon. I would say kind of hold off. It's like make the plans, go within, figure out what's going to work, and then come out guns a-blazing. And Mercury, don't forget, goes direct that night. Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, so it's going direct that night. So, go inside, figure all this stuff out, sort through all the information that you're receiving that's within, and then get up. Nothing will be able to stop you, darling, when you start on your plans, your goals. Set your goals and get out there and achieve them. So this is a very exciting day on Monday. Now, not a lot is going on for the rest of the week. A couple of minor aspects that aren't worth really mentioning. However, and that's why I kind of also wanted to skip to the second week and do it all in one, because Monday on March the 16th, 2020 at 3:43 a.m. Mercury moves back into Pisces. So you've got this energy being kicked up again right now. It already was in Pisces, and when it went retrograde, it went into Aquarius, and now it's going back into Pisces because it's direct and it's picking up speed, right? So more creativity, writing music, creative writing, fantasy writing, visual arts, enjoying museums and appreciating the beauty in everything. Now, Tuesday, March the 17th, it is St. Patrick's Day. So happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone, and please drink responsibly. Now, Thursday, March the 19th, 2020, at 11:50 p.m., it's at the end of the day, the sun enters Aries. This is the spring equinox. This is really spring has sprung, darling. Aries is a cardinal sign. We're going to get up. We're going to feel energized. It's brilliant. Now listen, the equinox is when daylight conquers the night, and it is time to spring into action. Spring has sprung. Aries is the beginning of the zodiac. It is the start. Aries is the fearless warrior. He will jump into action for the sheer thrill of it. His anger and rage is unparalleled, right? And he can be a bit impulsive and impatient. And his fuse is a bit short, but he blows up and the fire goes out. So he lets go pretty quickly. So this is a time to take action. And, with Mercury going direct, it's like we're off to the races. You better plan everything now so that you can spring into action next week. Now, on Friday, March the 20th, 2020, Mars is conjunct Jupiter, which means they come together. And when they're together, you can barely tell one from the other, right? Their energies meld. They become one. Now, Mars is the ruler of Aries, right? So it's cozying up. Mars is the warrior, right? Get up and go. And Mars also rules sexuality and libido. And it is cozying up to Jupiter, the planet of good fortune, bigger, better, more, and abundance, right? So energy is really out of the ballpark. It's like, get up and go. You want to do everything and perhaps everyone. It's like, passion, your libido is high. Everyone's, it's spring, darling. And then to have this, it's like a double indemnity. All the animals and everybody is procreating or attempting to procreate. They're definitely getting together. So this is really a great time to start anything that requires physical stamina and energy. So, you can be building something or sports perhaps. This is brilliant for anything, running a marathon, anything that requires a lot of energy and stamina. Now, just be mindful not to overdo it because, Jupiter's bigger, better, more, right? So you have to know your limitations. You have to kind of rein it in a bit. Now, on another note, new love interests are likely under this influence because of your magnetism and charisma and your sexual, sexy energy. It's all going to be out there and everybody's going to be, it's going to be fun. Oh dear, another baby boomer thing. Anyway, somebody stop me. Now, on Saturday, March the 21st, 2020, Saturn moves into Aquarius. New rules of engagement may be required. Saturn is he's the old man, right? And according to Greek mythology, the water bearer, the symbol of Aquarius, was a young man named Ganymede. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But anyway, he was the object of Zeus's affections. And he would go around bringing H2O, water, to all the gods in exchange for eternal youth, right? So you have this youth, this young kind of outside the box, innovative, individual, unique, a little quirky energy mixed with the old wise man Saturn. It's like push, pull, push, pull. So you have youth, combined with this old adult, and anything is possible because this means a whole new set of engagement rules kind of thing, new ways of living with each other perhaps, right? In community, because Aquarius is about community, it's about unity. So, and perhaps new ways of traveling. So, listen, it could be this is a major shift in energy as Saturn moves into Aquarius, from Capricorn into Aquarius and backwards. And it's going to do a little dance for a while, right? As it goes retrograde as well. So, look, it could be that, everyone could have like live-in rooms and share the kitchen and the bathrooms, and perhaps buildings will get higher. This is an air sign, so we could build up. I mean, there's lots of different ways of looking at this, but I think very innovative ways of living will become the norm, I think. So there's going to be major changes in those areas. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. I just wanted to remind you that this is a membered supported channel. So there are a few ways that you can support me. Of course, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing is a brilliant way to support me. I really appreciate that. But you can also check out Patreon. Click on this link. My Patreon page, I post things there. I don't post anywhere else. And you can support me for as little as $1 a month. That's $12 a year. Not a lot for you, but it's huge. Imagine if all my subscribers gave me $1 a month. That would be amazing. I'd be able to get so much done. I wouldn't have to work on the side. And listen, I now have a membership to my channel, so you can press the join button. You're not you're not beholden to join, but you can see what's offered there. And we have a member kind of section where we can hang out, and I plan to do videos just for my members. But I've just got the membership, so check it out. And hopefully that will build out. I think the smallest membership is $1.99. So that would be lovely if you could do that. And if not, that's cool too. No pressure. I want to thank you all, and I want to thank my patrons and my members. I really appreciate you. You are helping me do the thing that I love the most, which is to help and inspire others. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for that. And guys, I love you all. Mwah, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.